Hey guys, it's Tommy CM. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to another episode down here at Sandy Bay Funfair. As we saw in the last episode, just in case you missed it, we finished off this half of the park. We've got a mini arcade in here now. We have a food court in here, which is still very, very busy. We have some more flat rides, some very very sort of typical Funfair amusement style flat rides there with the decorations. We have a slingshot to fire guests up into the sky, and we also have a whirly rig and a big wheel. And then outside the park we have hot air balloon rides that you can pay down here for £25 a person, or if you look over this fence we have a mini golf adventure. So yeah, lots of progress being made. More of the same. This episode is going to be a new coaster, so yeah, stick around to see how that turns out. And then we will also be doing our best to fill in a lot more down this street. I'm really pleased with how this is starting to look now down here. This is really sort of the vision I had when I was when I was making this park initially. So yeah, really happy with how this has turned out at the moment. So yeah, this is going to be a long episode when I'm talking like this, isn't it? I shall see you shortly. Right, so a few additions. We have this carousel here that you can see everybody getting off, shrugging their shoulders. Don't know where to go next, but they're all going to go down here. Why are they stood there? Why are they stood there like that? Oh, people annoy me. So yeah, that's the carousel. We'll move along here, and we have what do you call this again? Wave. That's it. I've called it Wave, and yeah, I'm just going to slot it in on this sign just here. I'm going to put in a little sign with the ride name just there. But yeah, no, quite like that, and obviously Wave being by the seaside, I thought was quite appropriate. One thing I've noticed is the guests don't seem to come down this section. Hopefully, when everything's all built, that will attract them down here. But yeah, yet to come down here at the moment. And then over here, as promised, we have a coaster. So I'd like to thank the people below, or the people on screen now, not below, for the suggestions of a spinning wild mouse ride. This is a typical travelling ride. But also, also the permanent versions of this are in sort of seaside parks. So there is one of these at Skegness Pleasure Beach. And they all generally follow the same layout. I don't think I've ever seen a different layout of a spinning wild mouse. It's not exact. It's not an exact copy of the main ones, but it's fairly close. You essentially go around the top bit, back and forth, drop down again, and then when you go down to the lower section, that's when the spinning starts. So you can just see there, it unlocks and starts to spin, and then goes down onto the bottom and back into the station. But yeah, that's my spinning wild mouse. Again, station, nothing too complicated. Just a corrugated roof, metal base, metal supports, and yeah, that is my spinning wild mouse called Magic Mouse. Again, this sort of lighting is just typical of this sort of ride, so had to have that on there, ready for the nighttime effect of lighting up. But yeah, that's everything that's gone in there. I've put these like two paths in just to sort of give myself a bit of an idea as to how different areas will connect up. I may have to move the paths, but yeah, that's what those black lines are. And over here we have a little garden path, because I just thought that paths like this were a little bit boring, so I'll just build a few gardens to add colour to. And you do get the odd group of people coming down here. I'll be honest, most people do tend to skip it and just go down that bit. But you do get the odd group that seems to like the walk through the gardens. Over here we have a fish and chip takeaway. That obviously couldn't be a British seaside park without fish and chips on offer. So yeah, fish and chips, but they're closed. They're closed, unfortunately. The takeaway. That I'll be honest, the reason I did that was because I figure that if I put in a food outlet there will be a queue sort of around the high street, and I don't know whether I kind of want that. I may try it. I may give it a go, just see what it's like. But yeah, that's closed at the moment. And then there's a gifts and souvenir shop. So yeah, again, that's closed at the moment. There is apartments above. That's why there's windows. So yeah, this is the high streets coming on. And if you haven't noticed already by the amazing amount of flashing lights there are, I've been through and put up lights all the way down the road, just so that when it gets to night time, it is all nicely lit up, just like places like Blackpool. So yeah, really, really happy with how that's coming on now. There's a lot more to be done on the street. There's not a lot more down this side, probably one, maybe two buildings, and then kind of block this road off down this end. And then we've got this big gap here. Part of this, I'm thinking, might be a car park, just because there isn't any parking at the moment. If I don't put a car park down there, I'll put one over here, so that there just is a section for parking, because it would be a bit unrealistic if there was nothing for parking at all. Yeah, and then I just need to finish off this row, which is probably going to be the biggest task, is just putting in different buildings down here. Just all different purposes. Some of them might be, obviously that's a hotel, that's an apartment block. I may end up having a couple of hotels down here, some B&Bs, who knows. So yeah, that's the plan. Since I put this crossing in down here, that's one thing I've not highlighted. I've got two zebra crossings, one there and one here. And since I put the crossing in down there, all the guests now come out of the entrance there and they go down this section and cross the road. So the issue with that is that they keep walking through this corner, which is really, really bugging me. You'll see here, they just walk through that door, and I've moved the door up a little bit, but I didn't want to put it too close to the barrier. So yeah, ideally they'd like filter out both ways. Unfortunately, I'm going to find it difficult to get them to do that, but we'll see. I maybe might find a way to try and move them and move their routes about. But yeah, I'll finish off building on this street here or over there. I've not decided where I'm going next. I'll finish off building, show you what I've done, and then we will end with a POV on the classic spinning wild mouse coaster. So yeah, see you again very soon. Right then, final update for this episode. You may have noticed there is a few more supports on the Magic Mouse. One of the things about this particular ride, the Spinning Wild Mouse, is they tend to have a big frame at the bottom. You generally get this in terms of travelling versions of this, but you also do get it in the fixed versions. And yeah, there is a heck of a lot of supports on these rides. So I thought I'd demonstrate that with all of the steel beams at the bottom there. And I think that does give it quite a good effect, quite a realistic looking effect. So yeah, that's what I've gone for down here, and we will obviously finish with that POV shortly. Around the back of here we have a Pathos ride. Again, another classic Funfair ride, all the lights, etc. This will look great on this edge as well. Anybody coming down here, really sort of teasing them and enticing them into the park. I will be looking at changing this wall down here. Don't know if I will keep the brick at all, or whether I'll put the Don't Die fencing, or I may just lower the brick wall and put a railing on top. I don't know yet. But yeah, there's a couple of things that I've got to work out for that. So yeah, that's that. Then I'm left with this space in the park. We are slowly filling up now. We've got another food and drink outlet down here. I can't believe how popular food and drink is in this game. The guests demand it so much. you put one down anywhere, and there's just like there's just a huge queue for it. Like in here, look, it's so popular. Every single park you put something in, they will no doubt be queuing for it. So just a little shack there, just to offer something else, and it seems to have worked. And a few more guests have come up this way. Look, we've actually got a bit of a queue now for the spinning wild mouse. So that's good. And then the last update for the street. Obviously, we have this garden path. We just have this small gap now on this side. And then we have this section. I know earlier I said about maybe putting a car park down, and then afterwards I realised I was an idiot because I'd already built a car park. I built a multi-storey one just here. So we don't need a car park. We just need to fill in this space just here. And then over here, the final addition has been a Wetherspoons pub, the King's Head. Because there is no British town out there that can class itself as a tourist attraction if it doesn't have a Wetherspoons pub. If you're not British and you've not experienced a Wetherspoons pub, I feel sorry for you. But if you try and walk over to the UK from whichever country you're in, that's about as long as the walk is for the toilet in a Wetherspoons pub, because you can be walking for ages to find the toilets inside. That's the final edition, is the Wetherspoons pub, and that is what the high street is looking like. We are slowly but surely getting there in this mini-series. If you have enjoyed it, do give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you are new, so you can see the ending and the full park tour. But I shall finish with the POV on Magic Mouse. So thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you in the very next episode. Goodbye.